Greetings, Manchester City fans. In today's video, we will explore the latest updates about our beloved team. Before we begin, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates about everything happening at City. Now, let's get to the important stuff. This season has undoubtedly been a major challenge for some of our players, and one name that has sparked a lot of discussion is Phil Foden. Anyone who follows English football knows that Foden is one of the most promising talents in the Premier League, but this year he has struggled to deliver the same level of performance that he achieved last season. In the 2023-24 season, Foden was undoubtedly one of the standout players for Manchester City. He was named PFA Player of the Year, and his impact on the club's victories, especially in winning the Premier League title, was unquestionable. However, unfortunately, something seems to have changed. The start of this season was promising, but Foden quickly began to struggle to maintain his form. Commentators like Rio Ferdinand have noticed the drop in the midfielder's performance, and Tony Cascarino even described him as unrecognizable. This is undoubtedly a major concern for a player of Foden's caliber, especially considering he was the key creative force in the team last season. At just 24 years old, the pressure on him must be immense, as the expectation was that he would continue to be one of the central figures in Pep Guardiola's team. Foden's season began with a series of appearances as a substitute, having started only 3 games as a starter by October. This, of course, was not what he had hoped for, especially after the disappointment of Euro 2024, where he failed to shine as expected. Many believed he would use this season to reinvent himself and silence the critics. However, according to information from the Daily Mail, he has been dealing with physical issues that seem to be affecting his on-field performance, in addition to psychological problems such as mental fatigue, leading to brain fog episodes during training. Although Foden has not publicly discussed his struggles, there are reports that his teammates are concerned about him. Additionally, rumors suggest that Foden has been following the media and social media criticism, which could be impacting his confidence. With the England squad preparing to face Lithuania, there is speculation about Foden's role in the team, with some believing that coach Thomas Tuchel may opt to play him on the right-hand side. Despite his current difficulties, we must not forget the talent Foden possesses and the impact he had last season. Football, as we know, is full of ups and downs, and the player still has time to regain his best form. A great example of overcoming challenges is his teammate John Stones, who also faced difficult moments due to injuries, but managed to recover and become a key figure for both Manchester City and the England national team. Therefore, if Stones was able to bounce back, Foden certainly has the necessary conditions to do the same. Manchester City fan, we know that Foden was one of the best players in our last season, but is he just going through a rough patch? Or is there something deeper behind this? What do you think? Leave your opinion in the comments below. Now, let's talk about another player who has had a tough season, Manuel Akanji. The Swiss center-back has faced challenges similar to Foden's, with his performance not meeting the expectations he set in previous seasons. Akanji joined Manchester City in the 2021-22 season from Borussia Dortmund for a relatively low fee of $15 million. In his first season, he was a huge success, quickly establishing himself as a reliable and versatile defender in Pep Guardiola's system. His defensive solidity and ability to play in multiple positions made him a key figure, helping the City secure the historic treble. He was then crucial in the team's defense in their 4th consecutive Premier League title victory, but this season, like Foden, has not been easy for the defender. Akanji has struggled with consistency, and he is currently sidelined due to an injury that has affected his performance in the current campaign. This raises questions about the player's future, especially with rumors circulating about potential departures from City next summer. According to Mara, Akanji's agents have reportedly offered his services to Real Madrid, suggesting that the player may be considering a new challenge. However, Real Madrid does not appear to be interested in signing the defender, as the club is focused on young players, which does not align with Akanji's profile, as he will turn 30 this summer. Nevertheless, some say that Akanji is exploring his options in the market, although securing a move to an elite club may not be straightforward. If no significant offers arise, Manchester City may decide to keep the center back, given the value he still represents to the squad, even if his performances this season have not been as impactful as in previous campaigns. With 126 appearances for City, Akanji still has plenty of experience and versatility, qualities that could be useful for the team if he decides to stay at the Etihad. As we have seen, both Phil Foden and Manuel Akanji are facing difficulties that have been attracting attention from everyone, and this is not something trivial for Manchester City, a club that has become accustomed to seeing its players perform at an extremely high level. However, the 2024-25 season has not been generous to these athletes, and the team has been forced to deal with these dips in form. For City, a club that constantly strives for perfection and victory, every detail makes a difference, and the performance of these players is certainly being closely monitored by Pep Guardiola and his coaching staff. While Foden deals with physical and psychological issues, City cannot forget how important he has been in previous seasons. His ability to change the course of games, create plays, and even score goals was vital to winning important titles. The expectation is that with time and hard work, Foden will overcome these obstacles. But one thing is certain, he needs an environment that will help him return to his best. This situation also serves as a reminder that football is a game of highs and lows, where even the most talented players can go through difficult periods. It is precisely during these moments that the support of the fans and the squad becomes crucial. What Manchester City needs is the patience of the fans and the belief that Foden, with his potential, will find a way to bounce back. After all, we are talking about one of the most promising players in the Premier League, who has the talent to become the key player we all know again. Meanwhile, Akanji's situation, although different, also offers some lessons. The Swiss centre-back has been one of Manchester City's best signings in recent years. His adaptability and defensive solidity have been essential elements in the club's victories in recent seasons. However, with the arrival of new competitions and challenges, Akanji now faces even fiercer internal competition for a place in the defense, making it even harder to maintain his level of play. The fact that he has been sidelined due to injuries also prompts reflection on how Manchester City deals with the constant pressure of staying at the top. Internal competition is intense, and players must be in their best form at all times, or they risk losing their place in the starting lineup. This, of course, adds additional pressure for any player, and perhaps Akanji's absence presents an opportunity for others to shine. However, as I mentioned earlier, Akanji has already proven to be a resilient player, and his experience could be a key factor in his recovery. What is expected is that he will make the most of his physical recovery and also reinvent himself within the team, ensuring that Manchester City continues to have a strong and well-structured defense. After all, the team's defensive stability is crucial to ensuring success in the competitions City is involved in. The upcoming transfer window may place even more pressure on Manchester City's players, including Foden and Akanji. As we have seen, rumors suggest that both may be in vulnerable situations, with the possibility of changes in the squad, whether through loans, sales, or new signings. What we cannot deny is that Manchester City has a squad full of options and, if necessary, can seek new additions to ensure the team stays on the path to excellence. Another factor we cannot ignore is Pep Guardiola's role in this scenario. The Catalan manager has once again shown himself to be a master at handling difficult moments and reviving players who are going through rough patches. The way he manages the squad and the internal dynamics of the team can be decisive in the recovery of players like Foden and Akanji. Guardiola is a strategist, and he knows how to make adjustments to get the best out of his athletes, whether by correcting performance issues or providing psychological and motivational support. If there is one thing we can say for sure, it is that Manchester City is not in crisis. Despite the difficulties that Foden and Akanji are facing, the team remains a powerhouse in world football. Victories continue to happen, and the team remains one of the favorites in every competition it participates in. However, these individual challenges may serve as an opportunity for the team to unite even more and continue to demonstrate its collective strength. Whatever the future holds for Foden and Akanji, Manchester City remains a well-oiled machine. The squad has more than enough talent, and the season still has much to offer. The recovery of these players could be a key factor in ensuring that the team achieves its goals and continues to dominate world football. City has shown resilience, and it is this mentality that will make the difference at the end of the season. While Manchester City deals with the challenges faced by Foden and Akanji, other players have also been facing their own struggles this season. Pep Guardiola's squad is made up of big stars, but, as we've discussed before, even the best players can go through periods of adaptation and challenges. This applies to everyone, from the most experienced to the youngest, and the club has a strong support system to help overcome these obstacles. One point to note is how the city has managed its injuries. We know that physical problems can directly affect a player's performance, and in the case of Foden and Akanji, this has been a constant concern. Injuries in modern football are almost inevitable, but the way a team responds to these situations can be a key differentiator. Manchester City has incredible infrastructure, with a top-level medical team that can help these players recover and come back stronger. Furthermore, it's crucial that Pep Guardiola continues to adjust his strategy and use the resources at his disposal so that the team doesn't suffer from the absences or moments of low form of its key players. The manager has demonstrated several times that he knows exactly how to adapt his team to keep competing at the highest level, whether in the Premier League, the Champions League, or other competitions. Guardiola has the ability to extract the best from his players, and his experience will be essential in ensuring City stays at the top, even amid these difficulties. The next phase of the season will be crucial for Manchester City. The club has big ambitions, and to achieve them, it needs its key players in good form. Foden and Akanji are just two examples of how even the big names can go through tough times, but they are also examples of how patience and support can make all the difference in these players' recovery. City has the ideal conditions for its players to shine again and help the club win more titles. And for Foden in particular, there's something we cannot forget. He is still very young, at just 24 years old, and has his whole career ahead of him. The pressure on him is significant. But it is precisely in moments like this that a player of his quality can rise above it. Guardiola and the Manchester City fans have every reason to believe that he will return to being the protagonist he once was. Foden's skill with the ball, his vision, and his ability to score goals are attributes that don't disappear overnight. Instead, he can use this challenging period to strengthen himself and return even more determined. Similarly, Akanji, with all his experience and versatility, has much to offer Manchester City. If he overcomes his injuries and regains the consistency that made him an essential player, City will have a reliable defender to continue its quest for titles. Akanji has shown that he is capable of playing in multiple positions and always gives his all, something that Guardiola highly values. If the defender can recover physically, he will undoubtedly be a key part of City's defense. But, as always in football, things can change quickly. The transfer market is a constant reality, and clubs like Real Madrid, previously mentioned in relation to Akanji, are always on the lookout for players who can be useful in the long run. For City, this means that the focus should be on both the present and the future, ensuring that the team continues to evolve regardless of the temporary difficulties some players might be facing. Regarding the transfer market, Manchester City is known for its strategic approach to signings. Even when a player is going through a tough time, the club knows exactly when and how to make moves to strengthen the squad. City's track record shows that the club's management knows how to respond to the team's needs, and even when some players go through complicated phases, the team never loses its ability to compete and fight for titles. If Foden and Akanji manage to overcome the adversities of the season, it will be yet another example of how Manchester City's mentality is unbreakable. With such a talented squad and such a well-organized structure, the team has all the conditions to continue pursuing success on all fronts. However, if the recovery of these players does not go as expected, it's possible that City will look for alternatives in the market to ensure the team remains competitive. What's important now is that Manchester City fans continue to offer their support and patience with Foden, Akanji, and other players who may be facing difficulties. Football is unpredictable, and a player's form can change quickly. What we are seeing right now is an opportunity for the team to reinvent itself and continue its path to success. With Pep Guardiola at the helm, Manchester City has all the tools necessary to overcome the challenges that arise. And of course, the fans play a crucial role in all of this. Their constant support, encouragement in difficult moments, and trust in the players are what keep the motivation high within the club. Foden and Akanji know that the City fans are with them, and this can be a decisive motivating factor for these players' recovery and the team's success. Now let's look ahead. With the season ongoing, Manchester City has several competitions ahead, and with a quality squad, the team is capable of fighting for more titles. Even with the difficulties faced by some players, Guardiola's team is always a threat in any competition they participate in. What matters is that City continues to focus on its goal of maintaining a high level of performance and striving for victory, whether with Foden and Akanji regaining their best forms or with new alternatives emerging in the squad. And you, City fan, what do you think? Do you believe the team is prepared to handle the challenges of the season and continue pursuing titles? Will Foden and Akanji recover in time to help the team achieve more success? Share your opinion in the comments.